about the heavenly mates called Egbe Malokun. Do you know, as a member of Egbe Malokun, you have lots and lots of do's and don'ts. You've got lots of taboos, and I'm just going to talk about few of them. As a member of the Egbe Malokun, you should not cry, you should not eat snails, and you should not cut your hair. So how did Egbe Malokun come into existence? Where do they originate from? If you have been following me, I mentioned earlier that all the heavenly mates, gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀run àti ẹgbẹ́ ayé, inú omi ni wọ́n ti jáde, inú òkun ni wọ́n ti jáde. Meaning, all the heavenly mates on earth, they all came from the sea. They all originated from the sea, from Olokun. They all meet up there. They all do their mating, their rites, their celebrations, and every other thing. And I also said, their head, the king, is Ajagono. Their head, the queen, is Yaludi. Something happened on this fateful day that made some of them leave the sea. Some of them left the sea to go to planet Earth, while others still stayed in the sea. Those that still reside in the sea automatically became the children of the sea. And the sea adopted them. So they now have the do's and don'ts of the sea. The rules and regulations governing the sea, they have to abide by it, which they have been doing. The traits, the characteristics of the sea, of Olokun, they needed to abide by it. And if you have been following me again, I told you that Olokun never gave birth to any child. Olokun went back to the sea. Olokun is an Orisha. Olokun is an Orisha. Olokun became a person, got married to Odua, but never gave Odua any child. So, Olokun adopted the different heavenly mates group, and they are now part and parcel of Olokun. That's why they are called Malokun. And Malokun is in two or three, four different groups. So if you want to know more about your existence, your life's blueprint, everything, the heavenly mate you belong to, the name, if you have a heavenly spouse, if you were married, if you have children, send a DM for consultation or for reading or for divination to know everything about your life's blueprint. So now that Malokun are now part and parcel of Olokun, it doesn't mean you do not have your Orisha. You might be adopted by Olokun, but you should have your own Orisha. Your Orisha might not necessarily be Olokun. Your Orisha could be Oshu. Your Orisha could be Obantala. Your Orisha could be Shango. Your Orisha could be Orunmilaifa. It all depends. But you have something to do with Olokun. You have something to do with the sea. So part of the heavenly mates that stayed back are now Malokun. But from time to time, all the heavenly mates on earth meet at the junction. Both the ones in Okun and the ones on earth, and the ones that went to Akpata, Giroko, banana or plantain tree, Agbalumo tree, and Balu, all the heavenly mates, they converge together, they meet up somewhere, at the junction, then Ajagunle, who is their head, and Iyalode, who is the queen, head queen. They all meet up to do meeting, to celebrate, to learn new things, to talk about a lot of things. Malokun is a very powerful heavenly mate. Egbe Malokun is very powerful, and they are loving, they are peaceful, they have empathy. Their women love to care for their men. Their women love to share their aje with their men. Even if their husband have their own aje, but they love to share their aje with their men. Egbe Malokun women, once they are married, they protect their husband, they guide, they provide. In turn, their husband needs to appreciate them, love them genuinely, because if a man do not love them genuinely, they will know. If their husband cheats on them, they will know. This is because of the spirit that resides within them. The spirit protects and follow their husbands everywhere. So you do not want to offend an Egbe Malokun, because in turn they will collect all their aje from their spouse, whether as a male or a female. Egbe Malokun do not like to share their partners. If you are married to Egbe Malokun and you do not know, go and do your findings to know the woman or the man you are married to. Because if you cheat on them, or if you decide to have a second wife or a third wife, they will withdraw. They will collect all their aje that is complementing yours, and things will not go well for you. You do not want to see them cry, because it's part of their taboos. And they must not eat snails, they must not cut their hair. They have lots and lots of taboos, and you have a whole lot you still need to know about Egbe Malokun. So why don't you send a DM for consultation today? Get to know everything about your existence. Get to know who your children are, so they don't suffer the suffering we the parents had gone through. So they don't go through the pain. They don't go through so much like we did before we had to discover who we really are. Send a DM to know everything about yourself. Send a DM for consultation today, for reading. Send a DM for divination to know everything about yourself, about your partner, about your children, so that life will become easy. You won't go through the trauma, the depression, the frustration we the parents had to go through before we knew who we are. You will be able to solve some issues. You will have to stay confused, frustrated. So, on my next part, I will be talking about other heavenly mates. If you want to know if you are Egbe Malokun member, if you are Emere Egbe Malokun, send a DM for consultation. Or if you want to know the heavenly mate group you belong to, send a DM for reading, send a DM for divination. Consultation, reading, or divination isn't